Welcome back to another episode of Lake Lot Build. My name is John, and today's episode for me is a little nerve-wracking, a little scary, and the reason is because I've never done this before. So today we are going to start working on the HVAC for my house. So let's start here and I'll show you what I've started to unpackage. A system called Mr. Cool. This is a DIY system. The series that I'm going with is called a multi-zone series here. It's very efficient. It's 22 SEER. And I will zoom up and show you the model that I'm using here, so you guys can look at all that if you need to pause it or anything like that. This is going to be the 9,000, what do you call that? 9,000 BTU, I guess, or something like that. Unit. I'm going to have one in the master bedroom, one in the other bedroom, and then a 12,000 for the upstairs. Comes pre-charged. Don't have to pull the vacuum or anything like that. I can literally just hook it up and hopefully that it works. So what comes with the kit is all of this stuff here, which is the line set, the drain lines, the sleeves, the wraps. Over here, of course, is the unit, how to install it, filters, covers, remote, some more I think that is like a double-sided sticky tape. I'm gonna have to sit down and I'm gonna have to read the instructions and methodically walk through this to make sure I do this the correct way the first time, so I don't have to hire an HVAC technician to come out here and see what I did wrong. I'm working on the location of our HVAC units. So I'm using a split system, a mini split system, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to put the location of it over this door opening, which is going to sit right there. And I need a 3.5 inch hole that goes through there, and so we need to know where that hole is, so when they do all the coring for all the other pieces, they'll hit this one. I am using a Mr. Cool DIY HVAC mini split system, and so in the box is the template, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the template, and you can clearly see this is the outline of the actual unit that's going to sit on the wall here. And then what I did is I cut out the 3.5 inch hole there, and I have my marking places there and there. That is the 16 inches and that is the 8 inches. Which corresponds with a Fox block, which is 16 inches from here to here, and also an 8 inch. And so I will stick this up there. Of course, I'll use my level to make sure that it sits level, and we'll mark where the holes are. So when I put there's a plate, that's the actual plate that's on the back of the unit. And so when we mount that plate, we'll know exactly that hole will be in the right spot of where I want it mounted. So I'll show you what I've done so far, and then I'll show you how I did it. So this is the first one. And there's the unit on the wall. And now you're probably like, well, John, your wall's not finished. Well, I know that. And what I'm gonna have to is tape around it and finish around it, because the line set has to go through the wall, has to be connected, and all has to be hooked up. I'm not ready because the wall's not done here yet, but because of my cap that goes on the outside from my siding people, that does have to be done. So it all has to be completed. So I got the cart before the horse a little bit. So what I'll do is tape that, bag it off so that it doesn't get dirty and dusty from all the drywall dust. So let's go outside right now and I'll show you what the outside looks like. Okay, I'm outside here. I'll show you the penetration through the wall and go over each one of the pieces. Okay, so as the line set comes through, you have the power, then you have the supply and the return, and then you have the drain. And so the drain goes down, goes into the wall there because it goes in the slab and goes under the slab and dumps out. And then over here is where the line set goes over to the big, where the big unit will be, the outdoor unit will be sitting right here. So what I have is I have it to that point, and then this is the rest of the coil. Now, Mr. Cool is so cool, I guess, is that they actually send the line set with this cover around it, and I'll zoom in here to let you show you what it looks like. And then it has the standard insulation around it. Now, I can't cut this and make these shorter because this is the coolest thing about Mr. Cool. I can't believe I just said that. Is that these are the line sets. There we go. So the line sets are not open on the ends. So they have these dust covers on them. And so the pipe, when you connect it to that other unit, it pierces it, and therefore you don't have to pull the vacuum down to like 500 or 300 microns and then charge the system with the Freon. So this is all vacuumed, I believe. I might be saying it wrong. And those are all vacuumed, and so when it goes in and sets, if you noticed, it had those little rubber O-rings around it, and it keeps it from relieving the vacuum, but all the Freon is in the big unit, and I'll show you that right now because I got to figure out how in the world I'm going to get this out here. So inside here is all the Freon, and then you open the covers, and then there's some valves. Once you get everything hooked up, then you open those valves, and then it releases the Freon in there. Very, very important not to turn the unit on without those valves open, because there's Freon also has an oil in it, and that's what oils all the, all the components and everything. So it's a very quick way to burn up your unit if you don't have Freon going through it, because right now it doesn't have any oil in it. So anyway, so now let's show you how I did that. So I'm going to go into the next one, which is right over here, and we'll get at it. I had marked on the walls so that I could do the core cutting, and so there's a reason that the core cutting was done in that spot. Okay, so that is the template, and that is the piece that goes on the wall, just like that. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now we have that done. I have taken that mounting bracket came off the back of the unit, which is right here. So the line sets are tucked, they were tucked over in here. So you slowly bring them out, and what's really neat is they have this spring around them, and so it doesn't pinch the wire, it doesn't pinch this soft copper as it comes out, because it can happen right here in this joint. So when when I'm turning this, I'm going nice and slow to make sure that I don't have any pinches or kinks in that line. This will be the drain line. Right now I'm setting it upside down, so that drain line will be on the bottom part, which will be like that. And then of course the wire will be on there. So now what I have to do is tape all that together. Now, as it comes out of the wall, which is my mark right here, the drain line is going to go down, and the line sets are going to make the turn and go back to the unit. So I can only tape to here, because then that's when the things spread apart and go in different directions. Okay, we're ready to stab this guy through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up, rotate it, and then slide it through. So I already have the wire, because it's very long, it goes all the way to the unit, so I started to feed that through there. So when I start pushing it, I got to do one with one hand and one with the other hand. So bear with me here. So here we go. I have the unit, so I'm going to flip it over, hold it like that, step up here, start feeding the wire through. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and run it through. See if I can keep it from falling off ladder here. Oh, good shoulder workout. Good shoulder workout. Get in there. Go home, go home. Yep. Okay, so now you line this baby up just about right there. Yep. Like that, and here we go. Ta-da, that's it. So now that unit is set, and now it's time to go outside. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to use this ring right here. And I like it. The reason I'm doing that is because this is metal, and I'm afraid that when I bend it, I don't want it to rub on the edge of that metal. So what I'll do is I'll put this guy on here. See if I can do this one-handed with holding the camera at the same time. Oh my gosh. Oh, I look like an idiot. Ta-da! Okay, now let's go up here and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so now everything comes through, but this thing is of course loose. So what I'll do is I'll use some of my tape there. We'll tape that on there, and then that way it'll keep that, and then keep that nice and secure. So these guys will go this way. The drain line will go that way. And the power will also go that way, exactly. So now what I need to do is start to roll out my line set, which is this guy right here. And I'll roll out, what I'll do is I'll measure how far from there to my turn down, and then I'll cut that back, cut that, that stuff off of it so that will fit in there. So now I put my collars in so that I can run that. So now I'm going to run that, and so we can connect that end, and then we'll drape everything down to here. And so the one that comes from above comes down like that. This one will come over here. That one will come over here. This one has to be at a higher elevation because I need to clear the door. And so if you can think of a cap that goes over that, that's the same color to hide all this. So that is why I've had to go a little bit higher. Also the reason why all my air conditioners are on this side of the house. I wanted this on the back side of the house so that you don't see it. Even though it'll be covered in the same color, you still have those pieces. So I'm trying to keep it all on the back side so you don't see it. But anyway, time for me to get busy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect these together, and you have to start the threads by hand so they just touch, and then quickly go through it. So we'll see how quick I can do this. So I got my 2 wrenches. Let's start with this guy first, this upper one. Stick that in there behind it. Make sure I got enough. All right, so we're going to take our dust covers off first. Hopefully no profanity will ensue here, but we'll give it a good shot. Okay, first thing is to get this scooted up here. Start it. There we go. Got it. Okay. Get you out of the way. Get my wrenches ready here. So I have to hold this one and tighten that one. So hold that one. And tighten this one. All right, here goes nothing. I can feel it seating. Wrenches. Wish I had some opened end wrenches that would slide on here better than my crescents, but it is what it is. Okay. All right. Looks good. Now, second one. If I remember right, the compression is the big one and the return is the small one. I might be backwards. I know just enough about HVAC to be really, really dangerous. Hence is why I'm putting it in myself, right? So, okay, so now this one is going to be a little smaller, so I'll adjust that. Adjust that. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a double O-ring here, and that's what feeds into there. All right. When I set that up and we turn it on, we'll check to make sure that there's no leaks in that one. But you notice that one rotated ever so slightly, and I don't know why it wasn't very free there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, my kids, that's how you put them together. Same thing happens at the big unit, and also the electricity. So now I got to go upstairs and do one more and drop it down, and then we'll figure out how in the world I'm going to get that big old unit, probably a couple 100 pounds, how I'm going to get it up there. I'm probably going to have somebody help me, because that's a good way to get hurt. So it's amazing how quiet it is in here. And just wait till I open this door. It is pouring down like crazy. But I designed this to put my HVAC system under this so that, one, it wasn't in the elements, right? It doesn't get rained on. Two, no leaves. I have it off the ground. You can see it here behind me, so that it has the airflow all the way around it. So it works with the efficiency on it. So I'll do a little bit of detail on it for you. So I have my line sets, 3 sets here, and they're all going to come in. There's A, B, and C will go in here, and they're color coded. So the gray is the big line, and the blue is the small line. This is the quick connect system that they have. That's on the end of each one of those. So what I'll do, and then inside here is the valve, and I'm gonna, once I get it hooked up, I'm gonna reread all of my instructions to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. And then my wires, I just have them held up here for right now. All the wiring goes in here, and so the L1 and the L2, that's my power that comes to it, and then that's the ground, and then those 3, and then those 3, and then those 3 are the other ones. And then this ground wire right there, I'll hook, it looks like I hooked to these grounds right here. So of course, before I do any of this, I'll make sure and reread my instructions one more time to make sure I'm doing this correctly. And but yeah, nothing like working in the absolute pouring down rain. Well, it's been a few hours since I started this endeavor, and I have everything connected, and I have the pieces pulled off, and I have my deal on there, The circuit breaker, the disconnect has been flipped, so it's on. So let's give it a shot. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. Let's go outside and take a look. I have no idea. It's my first time. I'm so nervous. Let's see, it's raining like cats and dogs. Nothing's going yet. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. God, it's so quiet, you can't even hear it. Okay, I'm supposed to do the leak checks and everything. So I'm going to turn all of them on. Oh my God, that's freezing air coming out of there. All right, let's run back in here. You guys, it's working. It's so quiet. I'll put it up here so you can hear it. Oh, it feels so good. I'm so cold out there working. So I need to go check. I've sprayed them. I need to go check to see if I have any bubbles. I got to go out here in the rain and check and see if I can see any bubbles. But, oh my God. It's like I've created fire. I created heat. And I did it myself. I cannot believe it. Oh my God, that feels so good. I cannot believe a reverse heat pump can put out that kind of heat. That is fascinating. What is so neat is that it is a 10 gauge wire that runs this, one 10 gauge wire that runs that whole unit. That unit then feeds these units and the fan. And it's only a 30 amp breaker for the whole thing. I mean, it's just unbelievable how efficient this thing is. We'll run outside. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like crap, to be honest, because everything's all mushed around and everything. So let's go take a look at that real quick. But, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Okay, so let's go out here. I know it's gonna be loud because of the rain. Check all my pieces and parts. I'll put some more spray on here, just to make sure. And it's a soapy water mix. Rub all the bubbles off of it. Oh, it's nice and warm. Wow, that's amazing how hot that is. Wow. So I still have all my wires I gotta tuck up in there. And then, of course, that conglomerate of junk, I gotta figure out what to do. I'm thinking about making them, putting a box, trying to box this in so it looks prettier. Because, of course, it looks like crap right now. So let's take a look. I still gotta connect all those, put all those back. Look at that. Look how not loud that is. And I don't use, you know, regular air conditioning besides the amount of water coming off. This is the reason for this is I don't have my gutter on yet, and all the water's coming down the side of the house, along the deck, and then off of that. So all of that will be gone soon, hopefully. But take a round look here. So I got to get the make sure that wire's not on there. That is hot. That is fascinating how hot that is. Wow. I don't want my wires. In fact, I might put some stuff on that right now. Guys, that is how you put together a Mr. Cool DIY HVAC system. Oh, here's my disconnect right there. Worked like a champ. And I can't believe it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. And even a novice like me can learn how to do HVAC work in Oh, it's nice and warm in here. You can already tell the difference. I cannot believe that. I don't know if it's just because I'm cold from being outside, but the difference of the air temperature already. Anyway, you guys, thank you. Like and subscribe. This has been one heck of an episode. And hopefully now you get to see all my mess that I gotta clean up. So I have a lot of work to do behind the scenes, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.